What is going on, Grinders? It's Chief. We're in the building. It's Take Your Pick. I'm so glad to come on and talk to you. Today is Thursday, May 25th, 2023. Got a nice little 10-game MLB slate going on. WNBA is on the board across a few of the sites. We've got some NBA action. Just so much going on. Esports always popping as well across the industry. And all of those items, all of those sports are available to you on Underdog, on PrizePicks, on Vivid, and a host of others. So thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate all the love and support, and just incredibly thankful for everyone that has, joined this show and has supported it and included it in a part of your daily watch. So as always, we want to get this thing kicked off. Winning words of wisdom. And this one is coming from Steve Jobs, actually. And I found this quote, and I thought this one was great. It definitely spoke to me and spoke to, how I've been able to live my life over the past few years, even through pandemic, through COVID, and what the DFS community in this industry and RotoGrinders, the company, has done for me. So here it is. It says, your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it. And so that's just a little bit of encouragement for everyone that, you might not feel stuck, but you may feel like maybe, hey, I'm spinning my wheels. I like what I do. I don't love what I do. I'm just doing something to get by, whatever that may be, man. You don't ever give up on your dreams. Always chase after what you think is going to be best for you. Sometimes that means you have to make sacrifices. Sometimes that means you have to make adjustments. But all in all, don't settle, man. You'll know where you're supposed to be. You'll feel a sense of serenity, a sense of peace, a sense of belonging. And so please, everyone, always chase after what it is that you think you believe you've been put on this earth to do. All right, we're going to go over a quick recap, and then we will hop into today's action. And so on yesterday, we got one play right, two plays wrong. That's going to bring our monthly total 33 plays correct, 30 plays wrong, and one push. So on yesterday, we had Mr. Yusei Kikuchi, more than 2.5 earned runs allowed. That was a win. We went with James Paxton, more than 50.5 pitching outs, and that did not go well. Paxton, I think, was pulled around somewhere around 56, 59 pitches, was not having a great night. I think they decided to pull him. Had 5 strikeouts, but had already given up, I think, 5 runs. And so I think they just decided to say, hey, man, go ahead and hit the showers. And then Mr. Anderson, this one was a little bit disappointing. Boston came out yesterday and just did not get the job done. So Anderson at 17.5 pitching outs, when we wanted less than that projection, he ended up going 6 innings. Boston just did not get it done. But that's okay. Today is a new day, and we have a few winners that we are ready to put a place on the table for you. For those of you that are listening in your car, I will be discussing some statistics. I do use screen share, but don't you worry. You'll be able to hear exactly what I am talking about. So first up on the docket today, we've got an early game, and we're going to discuss a couple plays from the early game on both sides. And the first one we're going to go to, and if you've been hanging out in the prop shop, this is kind of a staple of the prop shop. And hopefully this guy does what he's supposed to do today and stinks. And that's Mr. Alex Manoah. We're looking at him today. Across the industry, he has a projection of 5 strikeouts. That's going to be Underdog, PrizePicks, Vivid. He's at 5 strikeouts, but on the season, I think Manoah is going to have a tough time. Looks like we had a little glitch there. Sorry about that, folks. If something happened, please hang in there with me. I am plugged in and hardwired, but looks like Manoah has 13.9% walk rate I think he has a rough day today dealing with the Tampa Bay Rays. Excuse me, Tampa. Yesterday kind of a similar situation. I looked over there, looked over that lineup, and I think I felt like they were going to come out hot. It looked like Kikuchi was going to struggle, and I feel the same way here with Manoah, just for a different reason. He just hasn't been pitching well at all. The 13.9% walk rate with guys like Yandy Diaz, Brandon Lowe, Randy Rosarina at the top of this lineup that could give him trouble right out of the gate, and the strikeout rates being so low. And that's to both sides of the plate. So sometimes what will happen is when we have a pitcher, we'll see him have a really nice K rate to righties or lefties, and then on the other side he'll be bad. But Mr. Manoah has been bad to both sides this season, and so I really think this is an advantageous spot for us at 5 strikeouts. I don't think he's going to pick that up today. I really like less in that particular projection. He's a guy that's throwing a lot of sinker. He will get some quick outs. I understand that. As you can see, the contact rates are okay. Ground ball rates are up as well for the top of this lineup, but that's not something that's going to concern me. I still think they're going to make good contact. I don't see him picking up the strikeout. 16.9% K rate. I mean, this is getting down to a really low level here. So this is a guy that I think we're going to pick on, and I'm going to continue to pick on this season as long as he comes in anywhere around 5 strikeouts. Now, if he's sitting at 4 strikeouts, obviously I'll pass, but 5, I'm going to be investing in plenty of less than projections for Mr. Alek Manoah. On the other side, we've got a guy by the name of Zach Eflin. And so Eflin is a guy that I definitely want to get involved with today. On the season, I mean, and look at Eflin's numbers here, folks. 28.4% K rate, 3.19 xFIP, 2.7% walk rate. He's been pitching, incredibly here for the Rays. I mean, this guy has been fantastic. And when I look at what we see here from the Blue Jays, I don't think he gets out of the game clean, but I definitely think at 17 pitching outs, and that's where he is around the industry. We've got him at 17 pitching outs here. I really like this number, 17 and a half, excuse me. Don't want to mislead anyone. 17 and a half pitching outs. I think he can go 6 innings here. He's been pitching well. Like I said, really low walks, which means he's really keeping the ball in the strike zone. Additionally, the ground ball rate at 50%. That's been fantastic. So I really like what we're seeing here. Obviously, a little bit different to righties, but to righties and lefties in terms of the K rate. 26% to lefties, 30% to righties, but the walk rate still intact. Ground ball rate still intact as well. So I really like Zach Eflin at 17 and a half pitching outs. We're going to look at his pitch mix here. We see that he's got a pretty robust pitch mix. He's got the curve, he's got the sinker, and he's got the fastball cutter. I love pitchers that throw the cutter because typically that lets us know cutter and sinker, they're typically going to keep the ball on the ground, which should yield us a few quick innings. And by quick innings, I mean, he may be able to get out a couple innings in 10 pitches or less. If we get to that type of level, we can easily see him at the 17 and a half pitching outs level, go more over that projection. So I really like Zach Eflin. I think this is a guy that could really bring it home for us today, especially, like I said, with him throwing primarily pitches that we're going to keep on the ground. And I think that's something important to note. It's similar to when I look at pitchers that are throwing the splitter, right? Typically pitchers that throw splitters, they can rack up some strikeouts because pitchers bats aren't going to see it as much. Similar situation here when we've got pitchers that are throwing cutters and sinkers. What we're typically going to see is guys that keep the ball on the ground. And so with that being said, really like Zach Eflin today. I think this is a guy that's really going to do well for us. And speaking of doing well, I'm not sure how many of you live near the beach. I live near the beach, and it's summertime, folks. And that means you need to go and hang out with our friends at Shady Rays. Kick off the new year with the gear built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered from the sun to the slopes with premium polarized shades, customizable snow goggles, and so much more. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company that offers a world-class product that's just as good as any expensive pair we've worn. Durable frames and extremely clear optics for outdoor adventures. That's not all, folks. Shady Rays has the most insane protection in all of eyewear. Every pair of sunglasses is backed by their lost and broken replacement policy. If you lose or break your pair, even on day one, they told us they will send you a brand new pair, no questions asked. Wear your Shady Rays with confidence because they have your back long after the purchase. With Shady Rays, you can look good and feel good. And to date, they have donated over 20 million meals to fight hunger with Feeding America. If you don't love them, exchange them for a new pair or return them for free within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop with Shady Rays. Their team always have your back. And exclusively for listeners and watchers and viewers of Take Your Pick'em, you can go to ShadyRays.com, use the promo code RotoGrinders, and get 50% off 2 pairs of polarized sunglasses. Try it for yourself. The shades rated 5 stars by over 200,000 people. All right, here we go. We're moving on to our next play here. And this one is one that I really like. And it was shocking to me when I pulled up the data because, I don't like the Miami Marlins as a team, folks. I'm just going to be honest with you. They strike out a ton, but not so fast. They don't strike out as much to lefties. And so when I saw these K rates, as long as the projected lineup comes out correctly, I think we're going to be looking good. Look at this, folks. We've got Kyle Freeland here, 4.9 xFIP, 17.1% K rate. Doesn't walk anyone, and the Marlins are not walking. But in terms of their projected lineup here, we don't see a lot of strikeouts. Yes, we've got Hampson down here at 38% and Cooper at 33% and Birdie at 28%. But in between, Jorge Soler, 18%. Luis Arias, 17%. Obviously, he's a lefty. Doesn't strike out a ton of righties. De La Cruz, 16.7%. Yuli Gurriel, 3.7%. Segura, 12%. Fortes, 11.8%. Here's what we need the Miami Marlins to do. We need them to put the ball in play. And that's what we need. And so I'm looking at the BABIP here. Look at the BABIP, though. 500, 286, 375, 611, 370, 240, 154, 462, 438. Really good BABIP numbers, and that stands for batted average balls in play. This looks really good against lefties, folks. And so we're going to go with Kyle Freeland. He's sitting at 15.5 pitching outs. We want less than that projection, folks. I definitely think the Marlins can get to him here as long as they keep the ball in play. And as we look at these BABIP numbers, I feel really confident that they're going to be able to keep the ball in play today against Kyle Freeland. So really like this particular prop here. Really like this particular pick'em card, pick'em square here. But look, so we're going to look at the pitch types. So he's throwing the curveball, and outside of a couple guys at the top of the lineup, look at what we have, folks, and this gets me excited. Contact rates look really good for this team, pretty much top to bottom, outside of Bertie and Soler on the curve. Next, we're going to go to the sinker. Really good contact rates for the sinker, right? Even though we've got De La Cruz at 77% and Cooper at 73%, that's okay. Overall, as a team, this team is hitting the sinker really well. Now, sliders typically are going to skew a little bit, and so as you can see with the sliders, we've got a couple guys that are pretty awful. But outside of that, really good contact numbers on the slider, and then he's throwing a little bit of fastball, right? And even on fastball, a couple guys with low contact rates, but mostly, man, these guys are making good contact, and that is in limited batted ball events because he's not throwing a high-velocity fastball. Bottom line, I think the Miami Marlins with these low K rates should have their way with Kyle Freeland. And if I was looking across the pick'em sites in terms of bats action, right, I would be looking at Jorge Soler, fantasy points, total bases, and hits, runs, RBIs. That's not an official play, just giving you a little intel, because if you look at what we see here, Jorge Soler against lefties this season, incredible. 703 ISO, 597 WOBA, 18.2% K rate, 11.4% walk rate, and he is hitting the ball in the air, and he's hitting it hard. At a 51% hard hit rate to lefties, I think Jorge Soler has a great shot at a home run today. We're not going to include that in the official tally, though. That's just what I want to give out to you folks based on the data that we have here. So we're going to do a quick recap, and then I will let you go for the day. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your family. So first up on the docket, folks, we've got Alek Manoah, 5 strikeouts. We want less than that projection. We've got Zach Eflin, 17.5 pitching outs. We want more than that projection. And then we've got Kyle Freeland, 15.5 pitching outs. We want less than that projection. Folks, you've been tuned in to Take Your Pick'em. I'm Chief. Come in with your pockets empty. Leave with your pockets full. We'll see you back here tomorrow.